Good evening, Windsor. This is Angie. It is Wednesday, April 15th, and this is our evening COVID-19 update. We'll get started as usual by jumping into the case count update for the day. As of 6:01 p.m. this evening, we have 22,519 cases in the state of Florida, with 3,249 hospitalizations, which unfortunately have led us to 614 deaths since the start of this COVID-19 outbreak. 361 of the cases in Osceola County with 5 deaths, and 1,072 cases in Orange County with 19 deaths. Specifically, our zip code 34747 currently has 28 cases of confirmed COVID-19 as well. So while numbers are slowing some, we are still seeing a significant increase day over day. So we continue to act with our restrictions in place. I did hear today that Governor DeSantis has extended the no visitation policy for senior living communities such as ours to May 8th. So we do have that information at this point in time. So today being April 15th, we're looking at least another 3 weeks of the current situation. All right, so moving into some other updates. As you know, it is anniversary week, so we are doing our best to create some good memories for everyone, and that includes our residents and our staff. Today, the administrative team, including marketing and the business office, did donut hole bouquets and took them to each resident door with some music and a photo booth, and just tried to have a little fun there and in a safe way for the residents. So many of you, I know it brought a big smile to your face. We enjoyed it very much as well, and I know it was just a little something, but just wanted to brighten your day in some way. Additionally, we did wear your own country theme for the staff and saw a lot of amazing colors out and about among the staff today. Then we had some hot dogs and chips, and the staff did a little game of Olympics, which involved some children's golf sets and some cornhole. And I've got to be honest, I've been with the Windsor team for about 2.5 years now, and it's probably the most camaraderie I've ever seen among our team, and it made me extremely proud to see such a dedicated group of professionals come together to laugh and de-stress in what is the most stressful time in most of our lives. So I am just really pleased that they all were able to get together and laugh a little bit. I know that some residents observed that 2-hour period during the day where staff were able to get together and kick up their heels a little bit, and I know that some residents weren't real happy about it, and I'm so sorry about that you feel that way. But you know, right now we are in such a difficult position, and one, our main priority is to care for our residents through thick and thin and everything in between, pandemic and all, good days and bad days, whatever that looks like. And we are dedicated to doing that every single day. And I think the staff of Windsor have largely demonstrated that to you, either directly or indirectly through their, their actions and commitment to the community. And so while I know, some residents were disappointed to see the staff having that opportunity to come together and felt a little bit slighted, I guess, compared to the staff having that opportunity together. But I want you to know that it runs a little bit deeper even than just the anniversary, right? You have this team of individuals who all come from different family environments and different situations, and I have to say, I have been so impressed with our staff who every day since the beginning of this pandemic have shown up for work, who have pushed family issues aside to be here. Family members that don't want them coming to work because they think it's unsafe. Family members that need them to assist with responsibilities around the home, whether it's homeschooling of children or whatever it may be. But again, they continue to show up and commit themselves, and they're working harder than I've probably ever seen a team have to work. I would say that each of our dining staff at this point are probably putting in at least 1,500 to 1,700, 15,000 to 17,000 steps a day, just delivering meals to our community. And it's remarkable to see the fluency that they've been able to create in that process, and to serve as many residents as they're serving, as quickly as they're serving, on as many occasions a day as they're serving. So, what we're contending with, and I've mentioned it a couple of nights ago, I mentioned that there have been some communities across the country where staff have just decided not to show up for work. They just didn't report. And obviously, overseeing a community like Windsor, that causes me great anxiety, right? And I look at our staff and I say, no, that would never happen here at Windsor. But you never know. So we do these things not only because they're the right thing to do, to appreciate people, but because we are in a time of so much uncertainty that we have to be demonstrating a connection and a commitment to our staff, and an appreciation for the sacrifices that they are making in their own lives. Walking out your front door in the morning to come to work in this day and age with what's going on is a risk that they're all taking, and they're doing it without any complaint or concern, and they're showing up, and I'm grateful for that. They have a lot of alternatives right now that we have to consider. I know you've all been watching the news, and you know that typically the state of Florida pays about $250 for unemployment to individuals in the state of Florida. Well, now the federal government have thrown in another $600 a week that individuals that are out of work can receive. So that's $850 a week, plus a stimulus check of $1,200, plus tax returns, which are notorious for hourly staff taking some time off after they've gotten tax returns. Then there is this incentive of $500 per child. So there is a lot of money out there. And in some cases, people could do better not working than working. And that's a sad situation from the start, but that's what we're contending with. And we need these folks to continue coming to work and serving you. Because you know what? I don't know what I'd do if I got up one day and walked into work and it was just me, or even just me and the leadership team. We need these staff. And I'm so sorry that the residents that observe this staff gathering as something they are upset to have not received or experienced. Residents are saying, well, we have to stay home. Why was the staff able to get together? Well, remember, we can't stay home, right? We have to come to work. We want to come to work to serve this community. So we ask you for a little grace and a little patience as we're trying to create the best possible environment for our staff as they endeavor every day to provide you care and services and experiences with the best of attitudes. And I think that they're largely doing that. And for that, I'm so grateful. And I know many of you are too, but I just wanted to address it because, some of the things I heard today that were said were a little upsetting. And I'm able to take a lot of these things and push them aside, take them with a grain of salt. But there are other individuals who aren't able to do that, haven't been doing it as long, don't have that thick skin that maybe I've developed over 20 years in this field. But, things like, oh, look, the help is having a party. Okay, they're not the help. They're a group of amazing professionals that show up every day for all of us, okay? There's some comments about staff staying at Windsor, and there's about 12 or maybe 13 of us that are staying at the community, and kind of this insinuation that the staff that are staying here are getting to stay here for free. Okay. No, you're right. The staff aren't paying to stay here. I'm not paying to stay here. Grace isn't paying to stay here, or the other Angie, Cece, Ashley, Linda, Glenn, Emily, you know, the staff that are staying there, they're not paying to stay here. Now, the majority of them, the first ones of us that came, are staying in a guest room, which is lovely and wonderful. But the large majority of staff are staying in an empty apartment on an air mattress. And they're staying here because they feel they are at less risk of getting sick by staying in the community than going to and from the community. And that risk isn't necessarily because about them getting sick. It's about them getting sick and either bringing it to the community or them getting sick and not being able to just serve the community in general. You know, that was my fear we talked about in the beginning. It was, you know, I probably could survive COVID-19, but that wasn't the issue. I knew if I got it, I couldn't be here. And I had to be here to serve and lead this community through these challenging times. I had to do that. Am I paying to stay at Windsor? Not money-wise. You know, is Cece paying to stay at Windsor? Not money-wise. You know, Emily and Grace, not money-wise. But it's not all about the money, right? It's the potentially 2 months of time that I've made the decision to step away from my family and my children that I won't get back, you know, that Cece is spending away from her husband, Grace from her family and her pets, and so on and so forth. Everybody's giving something up to be here for the residents in the community. And nobody's asking for any credit for that. You know, I think it's wonderful that people keep saying things to us. Many of us thank you for that, doing that. But I did it because I couldn't deal with the idea of not being here for this, okay? But it does bug me when we start hearing comments that are taking away from the sacrifices that those people are making, those staff members are making. I think it's a tremendous gift that they're giving to the community, to the residents, to me as the employer. I think it's absolutely commendable, and it's I hate to sound cheesy, but it's priceless. You know, it shows an ultimate level of commitment that, you know, you can't even expect your employees to have. You're just so grateful when they have it. So, and I know people are upset, and I know they're stressed, and I know there's a lot of emotions going on that we're all dealing with, and they run the gamut from sadness to anger to everything in between. But we still want to be mindful that people hear these comments and they hurt and they sting, and everyone, residents, staff, family members, everyone is just doing the best that they can these days. And I just hope that through open communication and some just general understanding that we can get through this, knowing that everybody is just doing the best that they can. And I hate to come on and sound almost as if I'm being defensive of staff, but because as residents in the community, you pay to live here and you pay for these services, and it isn't your problem how they happen. Very typically, it's not. And I'm on board with that. That is our promise to you per the residency agreement. However, these are unprecedented times, and we all need the staff for our Windsor world to go round. And we want them to feel happy and appreciated, and we want to value the fact that they are making many sacrifices to be here with us every day with a smile and no regrets. And I wouldn't want a staff person that's giving that all to Windsor to be in an earshot or hear one of those conversations and those comments being made, because very honestly, it could be disastrous. Okay? we need our staff, and I'm very grateful to have such a good staff, so committed. And again, you see that during times like these, just how committed they are, willing to put their own things aside so that they can be here to make sure that the residents and the community has everything they need. So that's that. I just wanted to address those couple of things, and know that we appreciate you as well, and we just want everybody to be healthy and get through the other side of this, and know that every day we have exactly what we need to make sure that Windsor can make it through this. Okay, switching gears. Terrible segue. Tomorrow's Crazy Sock Day, so there's that. And it's Windsor's actual birthday, so birthday cake. So David and Ali, when I talk about giving people grace, this is gonna be a good test. We're sending David and Ali out to the figurative wolves to serve you birthday cake in your apartments. All 150 plus residents, and their wives aren't gonna be anywhere. Their work wives or their home wives. So this could be a challenge. So don't laugh too close to them. Just be kind. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully they'll make it all the way through before calling in for reserves. So, all right. Couple of other things. Cece wanted me to let you know that tomorrow, which is our actual anniversary, there will be a Windsor variety show put on by Vivacity from their respective living rooms all over the country, all over the world, to entertain you. So I think that'll be a lot of fun. I know the residents love Vivacity, and I know it's a distant second having them on your TV on channel 2501, but I know that we're gonna love seeing them when this is all over and having them back. But not bad for a second choice. So tomorrow on 2501, Cece, what time is that? Do you remember?
It's at 5.
5 o'clock. So dinner and Vivacity, not bad for an evening. Couple of other things. I just wanted to talk a little bit about our policy on COVID-19 testing. This has come up a little bit. There have been some communities in certain areas of the state that have been testing all their residents and all their staff for COVID-19. At this point, we have not and are not planning to implement community-wide testing on residents and staff. We are testing only in the event that an individual has symptoms that are consistent with COVID-19. So temperature greater than 100.4, the upper respiratory symptoms, cough, sore throat, runny nose, all of those kind of things, okay, or somebody that we know has a known exposure to COVID-19. We have done a couple of tests, so that we've had a couple of individuals go out, etc. But in this line of work or in this world, we do have residents that have upper respiratory issues. We have residents that have chronic pulmonary diseases or things like that would cause similar symptoms. So they oftentimes would order a COVID-19 test just to rule that out. So, and we've had tests, gosh, I think as far back as like the 18th of March or something. And all of those have been negative and good, again, just in good measure to make sure. So only in the event that someone is symptomatic. At this point, are we doing testing on residents and staff? So I just wanted to address that. And a lot of that reason is because we could test 100% of Windsor today and things change tomorrow, right? It's a snapshot, it's day by day. So at this point, everyone is asymptomatic, everyone's using good infection control, everybody's wearing their masks, etc. So we are going to continue with this. There is a possibility that Governor DeSantis and the Agency for Healthcare Administration are going to mandate that happens in assisted living and nursing homes in the state of Florida. And if they do that, obviously we will comply. But at this time, our standpoint is tests when necessary and appropriate, okay? So, just one other thing I read today, or LCS, we had our call today, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We had our corporate call today. And we were just talking about specifically testing and then talking a little bit more about infection control, etc. And again, the conversation that's been had over the last 6 weeks now, probably about COVID-19 and how it lives on surfaces. So on today's call, 3 hours in aerosols, 4 hours on copper, 24 hours on cardboard. So those packages that are coming in that Glenn and Marcus and Marcy and their teams are wiping down with different agents to make sure that any potential virus is eradicated before it gets to your hands. And then 3 days on plastic and 3 days on stainless steel. So again, the frequent elevator, the hand sanitizing machines, the doors, all those high touch surfaces we're trying to touch on a very frequent basis, again, because 3 days it can last. So like, you know, we had somebody put out some things tonight for other residents to take. We don't want things being set out from residents' apartments for other residents to take when things could potentially live on those surfaces. So please be mindful of that. Not maybe leaving things around the community for other residents to take, because there is potential for that transmission of virus. And I know it's sometimes things like they're being ridiculous. That's too tedious. But again, I don't think we can be too careful with those kind of things. So please be mindful of that. Please make sure you're using some hand sanitizer or some wipes on the handles of walkers, on the handles of wheelchairs, maybe on the other side of your door handle, etc. You know, because again, people are leaving the community, they're going outside, etc. Then we have our residents that are going out to physicians visits, etc., that are required. We just want to make sure that we're paying attention to those little details, because so far so good, and we're really hoping we can ride this out as we have to date with any cases of COVID-19. So I think that is gonna be it for me tonight. I appreciate all of you. I really enjoyed seeing all of you today. I was sometimes up ahead of the rest of the group coming up with your donut names. But I did have a chance to see a lot of you, and it was really good. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody. And I know you didn't like that party today for the staff, but I promise you we will have one big, amazing party when this is all done, celebrating together that we got through it. And I know everybody will just love it. So let's all together look forward to that. So anyway, that's it for this evening. I will see you here tomorrow. Same time, same place. Sleep well and be well.